stalking me on the exterior of this condo, especially given his pattern of criminal conduct. Unit 207, as was previously written in the preceding live stream, once again criminally and illegally shut off the live stream while I was asleep. And then once again, they criminally and illegally prevented me from initiating another. A guy was outside at 1:55 in the morning. Was he stalking me on the exterior? Or was he just outside doing drugs or hanging out with one of the other neighbors that Unit 207 has instructed to stalk, i.e. federal felons Andy and Kelly. Kelly, who works at DCYF, Andy, whose brother is a police officer, who they had leave me a notes on my door anonymously, threatening to harass me with the police and DCYF? Or was he just outside drinking and doing drugs on the clock? I don't know. This is the preceding live stream. As you can see, it ran for 5 hours and 10 minutes. That's correct, but not on my end. On my end, it wasn't running at all. So let's click on it together and see how long it actually is, because as I wrote on here, I went to sleep. Oh, look, it's an hour and 45 minutes. Why? Because of the imbecilic males upstairs and females who are going to prison. Note right here in the updates. 2:12, 9:11 p.m. Female federal felons upstairs plan to terminate the live while I sleep. Maybe typing it will prevent their crime spree. No, it didn't. So again, the video is titled 2:12, 8:41 p.m. It has a runtime of an hour and 45 minutes because of the man upstairs, the woman upstairs who have kept doing this criminally and illegally. And yet right here on the homepage, the same video, 5 hours and 10 minutes, which is accurate as it's 1:58 a.m. Now, I have been running this recording for 20 hours and 52 minutes and 37 seconds. So let's make sure we're still connected right now. See, there should be a live here in a red box, but there's not, because of the federal felons who have been marked as domestic terrorists who are upstairs, who will soon be convicted for stalking me and going to prison. Soon as in boy and girls upstairs, you're going to be in prison. According to the FBI, their estimate is before this time next year. They don't think it'll take 6 months to convict each and every one of you. So let's click on this and see if this is even recording. This is the live stream that you're watching right now because of Unit 207's crime spree. You're watching right now because of Unit 207's crime spree. Yeah. Conduct. You're stalking me on the exterior of this condo. So it's the 13th. Given his pattern of criminal conduct. Let's end this video so we can email it to ourselves. But keep in mind, they might do what they did yesterday, as you saw. They might change the file format completely. Then it has to be uploaded to a Google Drive for an email. Oh, see, look, I just pushed stopped and it's just automatically started recording another one. So let's see if we're able to access this file like we should, this 20-hour video. Nope. That's the video that just started. And that's the video that recorded from yesterday. That was 13 hours and 50 minutes. This one has the date, 2020, 2/12. This is the same thing it did yesterday, where it shows that the video format has completely changed. Today at 1:59, I'm guessing this is the 2-second video they just allowed me to record. As you saw, there was a 20-hour video here. Nothing happened except for the male that was outside stalking me as soon as I got up. Let's push delete on this. See if magically the 20-hour video that you just saw will show back up. Nope, this is still the one from 1350. This is the one that it should be. Note the date here. 02/12. Open new file. Yesterday at 4:55 a.m. Yesterday at 4:55 a.m. This is the date right here again, everybody. 02/11, 02/12. We already have the 02/11. Now, yesterday, after I did this 4 or 5 times, someone upstairs was able to undo their hacking and criminality. This is the video, and this is the same thing that they had show up yesterday until a female federal felon upstairs made the video show up as it should in a way that it could be uploaded and sent on the Google Drive. Obstruction and evidence tampering. Fortunately for me, as you saw in the preceding live stream, I wrote down their plans to criminally and illegally shut it off. And it sounds like it wasn't a moronic woman upstairs who did it. It was a man. And I haven't sent an updated invoice or police report because of their constant and incessant criminality. But let me just be clear. Each and every one of you that's been working for the last 2 days, I don't care if you've blown the whistle, I will personally be getting money from all of your future pay, your severance, and you will be garnished via a judgment unless you move internationally and make your money in a different country. Let it be known, it's now 2:02 a.m. I can't email myself the 20-hour video because, as you saw, Unit 207 did what? Oh, yes, they destroyed evidence again. It hasn't magically changed its format like it did yesterday either. Unit 207 is actively preventing me from doing that. Because again, as you saw in the video yesterday, they did the same thing and then they magically changed the file format to the appropriate format. We can see the video is here. This is it with the date, 2/12. This is the one before that was 13 hours and 50 minutes long. And now we've got it on the live stream, one of which, if it follows suit with all of the live streams that have been attempted to initiate since 7:55 p.m. yesterday, will be terminally ended and tampered with by the imbeciles upstairs at the behest or directly as a result of their crime spree. And it doesn't matter either way because, as they've already been told, they themselves are personally liable. So my front door still hasn't been open since January 2nd, aside from when the abused, disabled children they have been abusing and kidnapped repeatedly came and did so on January 29th. We're starting a new recording. As you saw, that 20-hour recording has magically, it's no longer a file that can be utilized. Let's try sending it via email like we did with the preceding live stream that ran for 13 hours and 15 minutes. And then also keep in mind, it's 2:04 a.m. It'll be the man and woman upstairs who ultimately end up getting convicted for that, regardless of who they want to blame it on. It'll be each and every one of you that will be convicted. Now I'm confirming this Spotify account because if you've missed it, as you would know, if you're one of the multiple people going to prison, which is the only people that should be watching this at 2:04 in the morning on Thursday, February 13th. Unit 207 and their crime spree has resulted in me having to create another account just to send myself these videos. Now I am inputting all of the data to send myself the 20-hour video that you saw, which has magically been changed the file format of magically a man with a small penis who's working upstairs and was outside stalking me or hanging out with people was called back in by a female up there because she didn't know how to. Oh, look, magically there's two different files. This is the one that yesterday it said couldn't open at all. Now it says the date was modified at 2:05. This is the one from today that is recording right now. This is the one from today that ran for 20 hours that we shut off, that was reading as not being able to open. Oh, look, it will not be attached because the file is 0 bytes. Why is it 0 bytes? Because Unit 207 criminally and illegally has tampered with it. So this is the one that is recording right now, but they've already criminally and illegally tampered with that one as well. I don't know why. There are two files, one saying 206, one saying 204. But this is what they have been doing to prevent me from uploading any of my live streams. They've added this CRSWAP to the end of every MP4, and then that makes it so I can't even open the video. Again, this is the video that is recording right now, so I don't need that. I need the 20-hour one, which you previously saw was right here. And now it doesn't even exist here anymore as a file type that can be attached. 0 bytes. Fortunately, we got it on this live stream. And the guy upstairs is chuckling at 2:07 in the morning. I'm going to be chuckling when I find out about how you've been anally raped in prison, boy. When you've been subjected to some of the crimes that you and your co-conspirators have perpetrated against me. So this is running again. This will keep running, but we'll probably encounter the same thing we encountered at the beginning of this live stream. Let's watch it again. Here it is. Let's make it big screen so you can see it all again.
Andy, whose brother's a police officer, who they had leave me a notes on my door anonymously, threatening to harass me with the police and BCYF? Or was he just outside drinking and doing drugs on the clock? I don't know. This is the preceding live stream.
Oh, they've obscured it. That title, 2/12/8:47 p.m., NEP, Unit 207. They've obscured it to prevent it from being visible that it's 5 hours. And then when you open it, an hour and 40 minutes.
An hour and 45 minutes. Why? Because of the imbecilic males upstairs and females who are going to prison.
Yeah, because of the domestic terrorist and soon-to-be convicted stalkers.
9:11 p.m. Female federal felon
yeah.
plan to terminate the live while I sleep. Maybe typing it will prevent their crime spree. No, it didn't.
Let's click back here and just make sure that this error on the YouTube channel that's showing the actual time it ran before Unit 207 criminally and illegally shut it off and then came and erased the 20-hour long video that was recording that you also see. Okay, 5:10. This is the preceding live stream. That's how long it was recording. But Unit 207 criminally and illegally shut it off. Let's go back up here. These are so many that have live streams they've criminally and illegally shut off. Again, it's right here on the right. 5:10. 2/12/8:41 p.m. Once it's open, an hour and 45 minutes.
When I'm clicking on the live that says it's currently recording, it bounces me to the preceding live stream.
Again, as a one-off, this wouldn't be such a big deal, but as you all know, these people are going to prison. They're going to prison, and rather than taking an accountability and having had to fire a few people, there's a whole group of them that are going to prison. Now, again, 5 hours and 10 minutes and 6 seconds long. Again, when opened, 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Live that says it's currently recording.
The more important thing is the 20-hour long recording that was attempted to be emailed that they've criminally and illegally made 0 bytes long now. Because that means they're going to be doing that going forward. And remember, the only reason they criminally and illegally shut off the live stream is to obstruct justice, intimidate an FBI informant, and to tamper with evidence, all of which they've been told their one criminal act constitutes numerous felonies without immunity, and all of which they have ignored. Will they be able to ignore it in 4 or 5 weeks? No, they won't. They'll be in jail. They'll be in jail. Now, do keep in mind, the FBI did say that's subject to change based on their actions. Keep in mind, the FBI did say that's subject to change based on their actions. But so far, they're definitely on the fast lane to jail.
They're definitely
Now this has been running for 7 minutes and 23 seconds offline.
Now this has been
We'll keep running it.
7 minutes and 23
But
seconds.
as you also saw in this video, that 20-hour video they've rendered useless. It can't be accessed or utilized for anything now. It can't be sent. Are they trying to pretend as though I said or did something in the last 20 hours? Very likely. I'm actually going to erase all of these, including the video that's running. It's now 2:11 a.m. And I did that because this video is still running and I wanted to see if I stop it here. That should show up right here in my files, but it doesn't because of Unit 207 and their hacking. So I'm clicking on recent, clicking on camera again. Nope. Okay, let's open up the camera again. Clicking on the video. Reinstating the recording. Okay, and now that's magically shown up. Today at 2:12. This is what the video always has saved as. This is what it's set up to save as. This is what Unit 207 has been saving them as to prevent me from opening them, a CRS WAP file, and to prevent them from getting uploaded to my Spotify, my Audible, iHeartRadio, etc. I thought they had done it via the account. No. They've been doing it via somehow criminally and illegally changing the file type to this CRSWAP. Note, this is the video that's recording. It still says the size is 0 bytes. It says that because they're saving it as this file type. So again, let's stop the recording like I just did a minute ago. Oh, and that file type has disappeared, and this one is the only one that's reflected. Let's click on it. We have a 45-second recording. Reinstating the recording. Okay. So let's do the same thing that we just did a moment ago. And keep in mind that, again, there are literally 2 men upstairs and a woman who are actively stalking me, who've been getting paid to abuse my children, to stalk me, to hack me, to steal from me, to destroy my property, to intercept mail, to hold me hostage, to commit domestic terrorism. So I'm going to try it again. But it's very possible that they themselves are just getting rid of that CRSWAP because, as you saw with the 20-hour video, the 20-hour video just magically disappeared. Oh, I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that. I, in fact, would be able to bet at least $1 million of the dollars that your fucking precinct owes me that it was 100% the fault of you idiots upstairs. Now, there is a woman upstairs who's like, ha, she's wrong. There's not 2 boys and 1 girl up there. Okay, let me correct that. There's 2 boys and a couple of girls upstairs that are going to prison who abused children, kidnapped children, stalked me, stole from me, destroyed property, and consider themselves good people who are smart with really exciting plans involving me next week. Your exciting plans are part of the reason you haven't gone to prison yet. There's not a person in a robe at the Snohomish Superior Courthouse who is an actual judge or commissioner, not a pro tem, that hasn't been fully advised of who you are, who all of your co-conspirators are, and that you are indeed very much going to prison. Indeed, very much go. Not a one. Not a one. Very much. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office has had an ever-expanding list provided to them regarding each and every one of you, so they would know that all you have to declare is that you're going to a federal penitentiary, and you would love to have some others join you. To a federal penitentiary, and you would love to have some others join you. For real. All right, so we're going to go over the updates that were in the preceding live stream that Unit 207 criminally and illegally shut down. Let me get back to that one. We'll keep recording offline with the Lenovo ThinkPad like we did for the 20-hour video they criminally and illegally erased. But the most important thing is, of course, the front door has stayed closed, as it has since January 2nd. The only exception being when those disabled, abused for over a year by them and their co-conspirators who they instructed to abuse them to cause regression and escalation specific to their disabilities, who they then facilitated the premeditated and illegal kidnapping of more than one time, which the FBI is confident they're going to be able to convict, most notably the one in their troop, which I call the quote, Jersey Devil. 4, and she's never even had possession of my sons. Now, the current time is 2:16 a.m. PST. I am about to write in the description here the latest updates, such as the 20-hour video that Unit 207 criminally and illegally ended, the fact that they did indeed do exactly what the female upstairs was threatening, that I had written in the description, maybe because I'm writing it, she'll decide to not add additional years to her prison sentence. I think a large part of the reason for them for their criminality in the last 3 days is that some of them are fully aware they're going to prison for the rest of their lives. So they've just said, fuck it. I mean, logically, that's got to be it. So the preceding live stream's description said 2:12, 9:11 p.m. Female felons upstairs plan to terminate this live while I sleep. Maybe typing it will prevent the crime spree / stalking / tampering / intimidation, etc. without immunity. Then at 8:57 p.m., female felons cut tamper 8:02 p.m. live 2. 8:07 p.m. to 7:56 p.m. 7:56 p.m. to 8:02 p.m. 2 male hackers upstairs prevented 4 lives from launching. 7:51 update. Unit 207 from noon on. Female felons going to prison have high expectations for next week and further crimes. Feels court will bode well, as apparently it did not for some of their co-conspirators who are even more excited for next week. 9:02 a.m. Unit 207 shuts off prior live. 2:12, 6:43 a.m. to 7:43 a.m. Unit 207 full and conspirators planning. Excitement and women and men still up there an hour later at 7:44 a.m. 2:12 dual recording offline on Lenovo due to 2:11 crimes. 2:07 has illegally shut off 23 lives from 8 a.m. to 5:16 p.m. on 2:11. A male from their unit was outside stalking me at 5:20 before entering their balcony door. So those are the updates. Now we're going to add 2:13, 1:55 a.m. Unit 207 cut off live stream. Prior, as premeditated, as reported in prior lives. Then prevented initiation. Then prevented new lives. Erased 20 plus hour offline recording. As is visible in 213, 1:55 a.m. live. Saving that. Saving Now, remember, guys, you've at no point in time been part of an operation. You're part of an aggravated criminal enterprise, an aggravated criminal conspiracy,
Part of an aggravated criminal enterprise, an aggravated criminal conspiracy,
a domestic terrorist organization, and you are 100% a real threat to the judiciary, which is why so many of you are going to be going to prison for the vast remainder of your viable years before this time next year. Okay, so again, we'll keep the Lenovo recording. Now that Unit 207 has criminally and illegally shut off the 20-hour live stream that you saw yourself, I'll definitely keep it rolling and be shutting it off and emailing it to myself in over less than 20 hours. And then as you can see here, 2:13, 1:55 a.m., Unit 207 cut off live stream. Prior as premeditated, as reported in prior lives. Then prevented new lives, erased 20-plus hour offline recording on Lenovo as is visible on 2:13, 1:55 a.m. live. 9:11 p.m. female felons upstairs plan to terminate this live while I sleep. They did. Maybe typing it will prevent their crime spree, stalking, tampering, intimidation without immunity. 8:57 p.m. female felons cut tamper. 8:02 live 2. 2:12, 8:07 p.m. from 7:56 p.m. to 8:02 p.m. 2 male hackers upstairs prevented 4 lives from launching. 7:51 update. Unit 207 from noon on. Female felons going to prison have high expectations for next week and further crimes. Feels, quote, court will bode well, as it apparently did not for some of their co-conspirators who are even more excited for next week. 9:02 a.m. Unit 207 shuts off prior live. 2:12, 6:43 a.m. to 7:43 a.m. Unit 207 from noon on. Female felons going to prison have high expectations. Oh, whoops. Unit 207 shuts off prior live. 2:12, 6:43 a.m. to 7:43 a.m. Unit 207 full end conspirators planning / excitement. Men and women still up there at 7:44 a.m. 2:12 dual recording. That's still going on right now. Offline on Lenovo due to 211 crimes. Unit 207 has illegally shut off 23 lives from 8 a.m. to 5:16 p.m. on 211. A male from their unit was outside stalking me at 5:20 before entering their balcony door. A male was outside stalking me as well when I was attempting to initiate this live stream over and over again because of their criminal and illegal shutting off, as reported in the description of the videos and orally stated, tampering and criminality with the preceding live stream, which again is right here. Unit 207 and their hacking, man. I just want to make sure that you can see that 5-hour, 10-minute long labeling. Let's try enlarging this to full screen. Here it is. 5 hours, 10 minutes, 6 seconds. But not really. That's how long it should be. But as you see, when it opens, it's 1 hour and 45 minutes and 23 seconds. This is because Unit 207 has been plotting, planning, and scheming and perpetrating crimes that they don't even understand the severity of clearly, which is exactly what the FBI wants. If you missed it yesterday, if you watched any of the live streams, you'd already know that that's exactly what the FBI wants right now. For you to doubt your prison stay. For you to doubt your prison stay. For you to doubt. Happy Thursday. Now, there is quite a bit of stuff that we need to go over, but because of Unit 207's criminal conduct, we're going to wait to go over that. Albeit temporarily. We'll see how long this live stream continues to record for. And we'll also see what the FBI dictates to me to do or not to do at present. Just to be clear, it is now 2:27 a.m. PST, February 13th, 2025.
Clear, it is now 2:27.
This is a consensual recording with Mystic Wind pursuant to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Happy Thursday, you stupid sacks of shit. Some of you may be wondering, wow, she's become so vulgar over the last few days. It's a direct result of my disgust with their criminality. You have to keep in mind, these people have actually been paid by the government, guys, to commit crimes against the federal government and myself. That's the reality. Obviously, none of them have been in the military because they're still, quote unquote, working. Yeah, you're working in a domestic terrorist organization without any immunity, and you abuse children, you kidnap children, you hacked me, you stalked me, you're still stalking me, you've destroyed property, intercepted mail, terrorized me, and there's not one of you that isn't going to prison for the rest of your life, less the whistleblowers who did so independently, not contacting the FBI to try and send a sales pitch, unaware and oblivious that the FBI has been watching you all for far longer than I'm authorized to state. But here's a hint. Since before September 2023, in some instances. Now Unit 207 is preventing me from selecting any podcast on Spotify after logging in. Now they've just criminally and illegally done something to the Spotify. Really? Now I can't select any of the podcasts that I want to hear. So let's try just open Spotify. This usually happens when the guy upstairs whose Spotify account had a D username is logged into his account while on my internet. But I know that both of the guys that are upstairs right now are both of the guys that will be convicted for holding me hostage to begin with. Both of the men who criminally and illegally shut off my phone and internet provider of the decade, they're both upstairs. And so is the woman who planned on the preceding live stream being shut off and was reported in the description. Why they are fucking with the Spotify and preventing me from choosing any podcast, I have no idea. The tab isn't working. The manual selection with my finger isn't working. No. Try typing that. Okay, that appeared to work. By typing no into the search bar, I was suddenly able to finally escape the search bar. No, it didn't. There we go. So again, it's 2:30 a.m. We're running this on the Lenovo ThinkPad. You saw for yourself that the preceding live stream ran for 5 hours and 10 minutes, but that Unit 207 criminally and illegally prevented anyone from watching it and cut the recording down in advance as they were threatening and was reported to 1 hour and 45 minutes. And then they weren't done there, were they? No. Then they corrupted the file format of the 20-hour live stream and then erased it completely so that it couldn't be sent. None of which are huge deals, because I think one of the things that they consistently fail to realize and acknowledge is there is not a corner for multiple miles that hasn't been designated an FBI perimeter because of the 250 plus crimes you've perpetrated against me and my sons. Also, me and my sons do constitute part of the population. It's part of the reason for the very serious charges you will all be arraigned for before my eldest turns 16, which is July 1st.
Have you experienced Slotzilla? The world's ultimate zip line is at Fremont Street Experience in fabulous downtown Las Vegas. Enjoy the
cutting-edge technology and unmatched durability, all backed by an industry-leading warranty. Don't miss this chance to save big and take your fitness to the next level. Visit soultreadmills.com and grab your deal before it's gone. Soul Fitness, built for strength, designed for you.
Welcome to the documentary from the BBC World Service. I'm Maria Margaronis.
Remember, at no point in time have you been part of an operation the whole time you've been part of an aggravated criminal conspiracy, a criminal enterprise, and a domestic terrorist organization. You don't have a friend left in the FBI or in the sheriff's office. You have people actively working to put your asses in jail. Very easy to do, I might add, based on your conduct daily.
Slow down with us and tune in to a tiny station broadcasting from a trailer by the wide Bellacoola River on Canada's Pacific coast.
You're listening to 91.1 FM Local Radio, broadcasting the laws of lands and waters.
Daldella is the station manager.
I'm here at the river. It's provided nourishment to our people, and it's special to me for the relationship that I had growing up with my grandfather, my papa. When I was young, he thought I was ready to go fishing, and he would row with the oars down the river, and I would cast the nets. And he shared with me this phrase, "Ch'tagait," means cast the net. Ch'tagait.
I'm editing the title of this Nerd Squad because I just realized that it reflects as 2:13, 1:55 p.m. when it
The
should
Nukok
say
people have lived for
a.m.
thousands of years among the snowy peaks and deep forests of the Bellacoola Valley.
Saved at
Almost
2:30.
wiped out by small
2:34 a.m.
settlers in the 19th century.
The men and
They've
women
survived
upstairs
repeated
are
attempts to erase their culture.
having play
The
pretend
whole Nukok nation
conversations.
numbers just 2,000 or 3,000
The pretend?
people.
The guy's like,
We
it seems like she believes
really
what
wanted
she's
to
saying.
figure out
Yeah, dude,
how
I
we
believe
could
it
help
because it's
save the
100% the truth.
because we were getting
And the girl's
down
like,
to
no, no, no.
very, very
Just keep being
cases
federal
of people
felons with
in
me.
their
Look,
hands.
I'm
Yeah,
cute and I
thank
don't
you.
want to be labeled a federal felon. I want to pretend like I'm running an operation. No, lady, you're worse than the men involved as far as I'm concerned.
So, in 2014, a group of young Nuhalkum decided to fill the airwaves with their language while learning it themselves.
I'm Sultzlini Urbanshi Hanyus, and I am the executive director of New Hulk Radio. I live in New Hulkaluk, which is New Hulk territory, in Bellacoola, in so-called British Columbia, so-called Canada.
Did you grow up speaking Nuhalk?
I grew up with my grandparents, and they spoke New Hulk to each other, but they didn't speak it to me. And it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago that I talked to my grandmother about it.
When you were born, did they teach you English? Did your mom and dad
Teach me what?
English, or was it New Hulk?
Just Nohak. They didn't teach us any English at all. When we were small, we just spoke Nohak. That's why it was so hard for me when I went to residential school. We had to not talk Nohak at all. Kids were punished for that.
That's Silslani's grandmother speaking on a podcast she made for the radio.
Most of the elderly people in our community went to residential school where they were not allowed to speak the language. They would be physically beaten for doing so. So there was a lot of really severe anxiety and trauma around the New Hulk language.
Canada's compulsory boarding schools for Indigenous children were funded by the government and run mostly by churches. Notorious for mistreating and abusing kids as young as 3 or 4, the system continued into the 1970s.
Children were forcibly taken away, taken from their families, taken from their parents without permission. So it completely disrupted a way of life. It disrupted a community. And that's why New Hulk Radio, I feel, is so important, because it's about not so much just teaching the language, but also trying to heal what happened.
Why has it been important to revive and preserve this language? What's lost when a language dies?
What's lost? Well, I think that sense of identity. Growing up, I didn't really feel like I was Nukok. We grew up not really knowing the fullness of our culture, the way that we do our ceremonies, or how the ancestral governance works, or, even where we come from. Season Tequila. Kama take it, kama take it, oh yeah.
Yo.
Yo, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
And am I saying your name right? Is it Kwach?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Quaff. It comes from Raven saying his own name when he was first created, like Quaff, 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 Quaff. Insta Quaff, as colegas Dominic do, we calculan. I am Quach. I'm also known as Colegas. I'm from the lands of the Nukal.
Yeah.
I was born and raised here in Nukal territory. And how I became involved with Nukal Radio was after the Idle No More movement in Turtle Island here. 4 of us came together and wanted to capture the energy of that movement because we knew it would dissipate over time.
In 2012, Indigenous people across Canada occupied public spaces with marches and traditional dances in protest at a new law that would restrict their land rights.
So we had a potluck dinner here at my house and sat around a little round wooden table and talked about different ideas. And I think it was in Chekila who mentioned that the elders, as far back as the 60s, were talking about our own radio station. And so we grabbed onto that idea and we turned it into reality.
Originally, we were just like, we're going to start a pirate station out of Quach's basement, and that was the plan. And then I found a bit of money through a grant, so we were able to buy equipment. We also went to our hereditary leadership to ask their permission if we can start the radio station.
But at the start, nobody wanted to be on the radio. We were quite shy people, I think. And I was the only voice on the radio. And I actually changed my voice so that people wouldn't know who it was.
Ja, smatang, stit maniduk manakais asti songs. Yawa soyons asti songs. Hello, family. 91.1 FM, New Hulk Radio.
Nobody knew for a while, and then people were like, that almost sounds like Quach. One of the very first things we did with Nukal Radio was call our people together to help raise a totem pole to recognize our hooligan, our sput, as our sput collapsed and disappeared, and we've been working hard to bring them back.
Hooligan, or sput, a little fish that spawn in the Bellacoola River, a traditional staple of the Nukal diet.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking to flip the switch and turn on the microphone.
Good day, New Hulk territory. Thank you, Creator, for yet another beautiful day today here in unsurrendered, unrelinquished, sovereign New Hulk territory. You know what today is? That's right. The last day of the third moon when herring spawn. It also happens to be that today is everything split. 11:30, move the pole. 1 o'clock, ceremony. Feast at 5. Remember your spoon and feast bowl or plate or cup or whatever it is that you choose to eat with. Why?
My original thoughts at the time of what it would look like was an antenna attached to the side of my house hooked up to a computer in the basement that was just playing old recordings.
Now some general botanical words in Bellacoola. Bark. Wing leaf. And the word for an animal hide. Wing. Any berry or fruit, wild or tame. Hello.
That was Quach's great-grandmother, Dr. Sisine Margaret C. Wallace, telling an interviewer the Nukhalk names of plants. The radio station has digitized dozens of reel-to-reel recordings of Nukhalk elders made by anthropologists and linguists, and it still plays out those spirit voices from midnight to 4 a.m. in a show called Real Late Night.
I didn't speak our language, so a lot of what we were playing on the radio, I had no idea what it was. Like, what are they talking about? And then over the years, I started understanding what these things were. Like, oh, I know that story now. Story of the four carpenters. I'll do my best here. I am learning as I go. Why? Ala quas the name was son quats. Dich die numau da truk da manch ach. In the beginning of the universe, there was the Creator.
Are there some stories that particularly resonate for you?
One of my personal favorites is how the raven became black. Raven was created to be this beautiful bird with all these different colors, but Raven was getting picky and wanted this wing to be this color instead, and this wing to be that color, and I want to change my leg to this color. Then finally, the Ashkundam, the one with the plan, got upset with them and said, throw ashes on him and make him black. Then when I was in university, I was in the animal course, and they explained that ravens under certain light are rainbow colored. And it just hit me. Wow, our stories aren't just stories, they're science. And so that really opened my eyes.
This is the documentary from the BBC World Service.
In 2023, U.S. businesses paid a staggering $14 billion in IRS penalties, money that could have been reinvested to grow and innovate, all because of simple filing errors like incorrect tax identification numbers. But here's the good news. TinCheck is here to help you avoid these costly mistakes. TinCheck simplifies tax identity verification by instantly matching employee and vendor data against nearly 30 global databases, including the IRS and other critical watch lists. It's fast, reliable, and takes just seconds to ensure compliance and error-free onboarding. With TinCheck, you can avoid IRS penalties by catching errors early and streamline onboarding with our real-time, bulk, and customizable integration options. And all this starts at just $24.95 per month. Ready to safeguard your business and focus on growth? Visit tincheck.com today. Protect your business. Invest in its future. Get TinCheck. Visit tincheck.com now.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve. It's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Your savings account should be making you money, not costing you. If you're not earning one of the top rates, you're leaving cash on the table. At Raisin, it's all about your financial goals. No fees, just results. One login unlocks access to high-yield savings accounts and CDs from over 70 banks and credit unions. Stop settling. Explore your options and sign up in minutes at Raisin.com. Raisin.com, where your money grows.
What were some of the words in Nukhalk that you learned as a child?
I learned the word for maggots.
What's the word for maggots?
Gukskis, and I learned mukla and doba, belly button.
Yo, Insla, Isla, and it's turning up the Hawk Radio 91.1 FM.
Doba is that classic example that we all know, that we grew up knowing and not really knowing the English form. For us, it's Doba. And that's just how it is. And what it is. It's a Doba. Why, yaus madam hooks